Suppose you and your friend are standing at the edge of a cliff. Your friend drops a stone straight down, and with great speed, you throw a similar stone horizontally. The question is, which stone will land on the water surface last? Does your intuition tell you that since you threw the stone with greater speed, the stone will take more time to land? If so, you are wrong. Both stones will actually land at the same time. Welcome to the interesting world of projectile motion.
Back to 50 points.
Let's go over some fundamental concepts. When you throw a ball at an angle, it never goes straight like this. Instead, it will have an elegant curved path, more specifically, a parabolic path. This kind of projectile motion happens due to the effect of gravity. When thrown at an angle, the object has two components of velocity, one horizontal and one vertical. The gravitational force always acts vertically.
So
when a force acts on a moving object vertically, the horizontal component of velocity never changes.
That's what she does. Now,
only the vertical component of the object's velocity will change due to the vertical force. Therefore, the initial horizontal component of velocity you have given will also not change throughout the motion of the object. Let's analyze this more closely and see how the variation of the vertical component of velocity affects the shape of the trajectory. The horizontal and vertical distance traveled by the object for a small time interval is shown here. Its complete motion will be as shown. Since the horizontal component of velocity does not change with time, with an equal time interval, the ball will travel the same distance horizontally.
Good on you, Comcast.
However, the vertical component of velocity has been reduced due to the effect of gravity. Thus, the distance traveled vertically in this time interval will be lesser. Just continue this logic for a few more intervals. You can clearly see the object is taking a curved path. As the vertical velocity keeps on decreasing as the ball travels up, the point where the vertical velocity becomes zero will be the maximum height it can achieve.
These are like 2, 3, 4 points.
After this point, the vertical velocity will become negative, and the object will start its descent. During the descent, the gravitational force and velocity are in the same direction, so the vertical velocity will keep increasing.
Still didn't know what I was doing.
This will be the final shape traced by the ball. The shape of this trajectory is known as a parabola.
Cleaned it up.
Here's an interesting thought experiment.
This one's a hard one because it talks about like the AI tech as a projectile momentum and velocity that has certain kind of securities for voltage and charge pumps,
the angle and eject it with the same speed. Now the ball can travel horizontally. With a little more angle reduction, the range increases further. When the cannon's angle is down to 45 degrees, the range becomes even higher.
Number while you're
However,
looking
if you
at
increase
this,
the angle
but if I was kind of floating
degrees,
around
the outcome
with
is different.
a free set and I was waiting 5-10 minutes for one of these things right here, and you just camped into it, and it's like, that's pretty good. Yeah, and on the double triple operator here, momentum, okay, and then that popped back up. If I didn't like that, because digging out the rest of the day is that, you know, imagine the whole day, supersymmetry. It's like, if that happens, I'm going to be out of here. I want to find something else that's not being a pain in my ass right now.
However, the horizontal velocity keeps on increasing as you reduce the angle.
I'm glad I didn't play this. I did play this. I actually could have. I was grinding out 1 point, 2 points at a time. I have trouble clicking it and moving it.
In this case, the time the ball spent in the air and horizontal velocity has a good value at the angle of 45 degrees.
If I'd have known. I heard Tech and Jim scared me with Spotify or Shopify.
At 45 degrees.
You know.
With this understanding of projectile motion, it becomes quite easy to solve the question we posed at the beginning of the video.
Biblicals, huh?
The time it takes for the stone to hit the ground depends only on its vertical velocity.
It felt kind of stupid.
Even if
I
you
like
have
just
given a
eyeball
high
measuring it,
horizontal
and
velocity to your stone,
those charts will do
its
that.
vertical component
But
is
really,
zero.
it's more about price, because this doesn't give it to me.
Both the stones have the
So
same
you're gonna
vertical
come in here
component
and
of velocity at the
draw a
beginning,
line.
zero.
Hey,
This velocity will increase over
stay
time
there.
due to
Just
the
give me the
effect
price
of
of what
gravity,
this is.
but with the same magnitude.
This number, it is
This means the
$39.
vertical
I'm
component of
expecting
velocity
that.
of
Well,
both stones
let's look
is
at some
the same
measurements.
throughout their
Base
travel.
1/2. Well,
Therefore,
we've got a
both
couple
will
of
hit the
chops,
ground at
1/3.
the same time.
Okay, so
Pretty
that's
interesting, right?
inside of that. If
The
that
greater
momentum
speed you have given to
is
the
something I
stone
like,
has
then
no
all
effect
right,
at all
straight
on
line.
its travel time. because you threw the stone perfectly horizontally.
And so, in that way, it keeps me real tight.
We hope you enjoyed the video.
I am in and I am out clean. If today was a hard day when we were comparing notes, Alice and Bob, let's go down here. And this is just paper. This is a fun game to play. I mean, obviously, I'm being an asshole about some stuff, but all the way, you know, not bad. What tomorrow might do with this, seeing that it happened after market. Or after I'm going to play it where I feel kind of safe. I don't necessarily need to do the after hours or pre-market game. I'm turning it in there. I don't feel so horrible about it. It'll be one of the things I'm looking for, up or down, in case she just rips away, so I can re-platform. Again, I Jaeger Zero here. I was grinding it all day. I had a big turn on Spotify first thing for it. Got in, got out, let her drop down. Got back in it, didn't listen to Jimmy Bear, and it kept me busy for a good hour or two where I either could have been moving around grinding for points or thinking about it. You know, maybe that's the semi-hubris that put me on to other stocks that I was in. If this was all one portfolio or America, Freedom, whatever I was, you know, trying to do. You know, if I have multiple accounts with all the names, they're all still disclosed to me, I melt them down at the end of the week. And then I'll pay a tax on it, which would probably be 5% right now, something crazy. So be ready for it in the war chest. Just try to cover my day. So 120 a day would be key with 4 accounts or something, or however the magic numbers work. Where are we? Taking our time. It's usually just in and out, scroll of death. I have my cell phone, it makes it way faster. But again, you know, had a nice little day. It's a great morning. Got my points in, got my points out, covered real good, so I'd be up. So even if you see a negative, when I repositioned, moved this one into whatever it was, split one share or have 2, it's still a singlet state as far as the other charts. And, you know, I try to keep my market value under the 25, so that way it always comes out and puts it in the jar for me at the end of the day. And I'll have these, and I'd imagine you would take them, and you would take them to your bank account, and then you would put that in your bank account, as you would do. Nice $100, a $500 week, and it's $32,000, something like that, $28,000, $30,000. You know, if you could pull something like that, well, after I figure out my junky crack fingers here, which are not junky crack fingers, but are hitting the screen in the correct pattern, maybe I could figure out 9:30 exactly when to hit, because I feel way more comfortable about how to do that before I build enough points to actually have that 4th portfolio running and me turning up and down those kinds of sets, because that's 4 guys' $2,500 setup they give you, which might take them all of a whole entire year to save up to give it to you. If it's at $18 an hour or something, $15, $18 an hour, your McDonald's worker, really anything here, you should be fine. You know, I don't really see anything in the dirty 20 here that really, anyway, well, good for them. It's a good farm, like I said, getting locked in on big lots and some other stuff right there at the end, or not big lots, or I forget which one I was locked in on. And they just trucked real slow. It was a trudge, something like, well, maybe even like that. It just was kind of up a little bit. Where do we really want? Yeah, general with this right here. Oh, good golly gosh. And I'd imagine I'm in the right portfolio here. So you get the point. There, I got some points, and that's try to balance them. One fast and hot. I'm holding, looking around, feel comfortable. It's like, all right, the numbers 8%, come back around 6.439, 8.75. All right, she's moving slow, and looks like the charts. Anyway, what are we doing here? I want to come back and do. I want to change my portfolio over to the main index. This, and I want this. Oh, like I said, my cell phone was way better. Okay, and that's generally what I was like. Last Monday, these were down. These were kind of doing this. Bit was also down, And I don't know if at the end of the day on last Monday these were running so hot, but that's going to be a Feynman diagram for me about the way she attacks the market. Then I'm going to talk about points coming from the FOMC. Maybe that's why they were running so hot, getting it talked up or something, that inflating it real good, stabilizing it off, beating up on some tech stocks that they felt were due for a juicing. I imagine, yeah, have a good time. At any rate, there's that, and then some numbers on bet. This is low, but it's hot. She had prior numbers, and there was a lot of momentum about talking about it. You can run it right now. You could run it after, all day, whenever. Anybody in the world can run this. They got WorldCoin as a set here. I don't really think it's going to do this, but would I add it for another coin setup in here, or a 2 or 3 setup for their own system, something much like that volatility, or a sector under its own that might change. You got to change money. It's a physical force, heat, a chemical reaction. So, catch you on the next one.